Have you ever had a private conversation with one of your friends and found out another person had been listening in? The extra person jumps in, adding a C to your A and B conversation by either giving irrelevant facts or just repeating exactly what one of you just said. You know that annoyed feeling you get when that happens? Well, imagine that instead of it being a conversation between friends being interrupted, that it's now a research paper inundated with irrelevant facts and improperly cited sources. That's the idea behind research as conversation. In librarian Barbara Pfister's article, Burke's Parlor Tricks, Introducing Research as Conversation, Pfister used the metaphor of a parlor to further explain this idea. Quote, "When we enter a parlor and try to join a conversation in progress, we first have to listen and try to figure out what's going on. At some point, when we've picked up enough context, we can join in. And when we leave the parlor, we leave the conversation still in full flow." It's definitely something to think about during your research process. When writing a research paper, try imagining it as a conversation between you and your potential audience. After all, that's why it's called scholarly communication. If you read an article and want to use a quote from it in your paper, that's great. But copying and pasting entire paragraphs from it into your paper without providing your own original thoughts is not only unethical, but it's just wrong, even when cited correctly. Think of it like an eavesdropper repeating exactly what you just said in a conversation and passing it off as his own thoughts. It's the same idea when you're thinking about relevancy. For example, say the topic of your research paper is on Title IX sports and whether inclusion has helped or harmed men's and women's sports. If you find a magazine article on, say, the top 10 favorite styles of Nike Air Jordan shoes, and you include irrelevant passages from that article in your research paper, that's just like someone entering your conversation and bringing up something you weren't even talking about. It doesn't mean that the new information is invalid or false. It just means that it's irrelevant to your topic, to your research, and to your target audience. Research and research papers aren't meant to be impossibly hard. Research is meant to be a way for people to learn new things, and your research paper gives you a way to contribute to other people's learning. It can be just as simple as a conversation between friends.
Created using Powtoon.